and welcome in to another episode of Off Script. Before I get into the video today, if you haven't already, do not forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video. It helps me out a lot, so I really appreciate you guys. But let's get into the video today. What an incredible college football season. And that's just from top to bottom, from week 1 to week 14. The emotional roller coaster was real, and that's what you kind of live for as a college football fan. If you're a fan of, say, Clemson or Penn State, where you kind of had really high expectations for the season, almost, championship ambitions, but end up kind of falling on your face and going 6-6. And then on the flip side, you look at teams like Texas Tech, who's kind of pre-ranked 20s, and then all of a sudden get the first round bye and play in Oregon. Like, what a crazy just turn of it. That is why you love college football. Just the script is so unpredictable. It really is. But what an incredible, like I said, what an incredible season. But today's video, and this is a little different here, and I thought this would be fun here, as the year kind of winds down, the season is winding down. I thought it'd be cool to take a look back at my favorite top 5 experiences from the Off Script channel this season, or just experiences from this past season. So let's get into it here. Starting off with number 5, Clemson versus LSU week 1. I think the biggest thing that kind of played into this was just the preseason hype around it. It was kind of 2 championship caliber teams. We thought in week 1, we were like, these 2 teams might see each other again in the playoff. There was still hope on both sides, kind of. But also just Clemson, you can't doubt, like their stadium is still rocking. It was incredible. Death Valley at night, too. There's nothing like it. And the fact that it was back and forth, 17-10 final, I believe. Just a great game. And I have it in my 5 slot because of that. Moving on to number 4 here. Miami versus Florida in week 4. This one was special to me because this was my first kind of like in the elements rain game. Ground and pound. It got gritty. I was on the sideline for it. I was flipping the camera like, this is incredible. Like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm here right now. Also in Hard Rock, Miami fans were packing that out. It was a rivalry game too. So like, it was emotional. It was getting chippy. Such a great game to be at, to be a part of too. Pre-game, they were getting chippy. It was such a great game, and my first time at Miami too. So I really enjoyed it. And yeah, so that's my 4 spot. But moving on to number 3 here. This could be recency bias just because I was there this past weekend, and the video hasn't come out yet, so just stay tuned. But Texas A&M versus Miami in playoffs round 1 here. This was probably one of the most hyped up atmospheres I've ever seen. I've never been to A&M in my life before. I've heard stories, I've heard rumors, but being on that field and looking around, just the fact that it just kept, like, I looked out and just continued to, like, spread. It just kept going. And I was just like, what is going? It was just like a Coliseum. It must, like, I felt like what gladiators feel like in the Coliseum, where they just looked around. It was incredible to see. 110,000. I don't even know how many it sits, but you could hear every single voice in that stadium. Incredible to see. And the fact it was also a playoff game, too, just had a little bit more juice. Just a little bit more moxie to that crowd. They wanted the calls a little bit more. That they were just booing the refs, which, again, also, like, incredibly windy game. I get into it more in that video that I will post eventually, but such a fun game to be at. And like I said, a little bit of recency bias, but still great time nonetheless. But moving on to number 2 here. This is where it gets. This was tough for me, but number 2, Tennessee versus Georgia in week 3. This was probably the best game I watched all season. Overtime game, crowd was in it the entire time. Tennessee, Georgia, the hatred between them. I was interviewing people before, and they're just like, they want to beat Georgia so bad because they haven't done it in forever, probably since Josh Dobbs at the quarterback position. But like, still, just the Neyland effect is so real. It is. And being on that field and hearing all 108 or whatever it is, I don't know the exact number for any of these, I feel like, but you can just, it's just the magnitude of noise that hits, just fills your ears. You're just like, my Lord. And it was just that the entire time. The thing with me in this game, and these kinds of games, let's just say, especially in SEC, compared to like Big Ten or ACC, the fans rarely sit down, especially that goes for like Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia. I look around, they're standing the entire game, which is special. That's a testament to their culture, their people, their fans. You don't see that everywhere. So SEC ball, they know how to do it right, and everyone's going to be like, well, he's an SEC homer. Like, I played ball, like I played at Big Ten school. Like, I know what it should look like. I played at Ohio State. So, and Buckeyes, I mean, they get excited when something good happens, but for the majority of it, they're sitting down. So seeing fans standing up for almost the entire game, I was like, oh my Lord, this is incredible. What? So shout out to that Tennessee fandom. Also the Georgia fans that came too. That was incredible. But that was at my number 2 spot there. But number 1 here, and this is a hot take here, but I felt the most juice in this game. Georgia versus Ole Miss in Week 8. Probably this was just such an offensive shootout, and I'm a sucker for some good offense. The fact that there wasn't a punt till like late fourth quarter, just so many first downs, going back and forth. I love seeing the ball move down the field, down and back, and Lane doing his thing, Kirby being psychotic as well, psychotic in a good way, I should say. But it was just such and being at Sanford Stadium and being in Athens, my first time in Athens was for the Alabama game, and they lost the Alabama game. So I was rebounding. I was like, maybe I'm bad luck. I don't know. We rebound again. We go to Athens for this Ole Miss game, and I'm thinking like, all right, let's see what they got. And it was kind of also like anticipated because everyone kind of wants to beat Kirby Smart, beat Lane Kiffin, that kind of deal. But man, it was such a fun game to be at. Like I said, there's something about the SEC and just being on their feet. The crowd loves just to kind of stand up and just, they don't like sitting. They just love to be a factor of the game. And you could feel that in the game. And wow, it was just a special day. It was a special game, special day, and I really enjoyed it. Yeah, but yeah, that was number 1 for me. And college football fans or fans in general, let me know what you guys think your favorite game was, or just best atmosphere in college football. I'd like to hear from you guys. But if you enjoyed the video, do not forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys soon.